Roll call, please.
Donna,
Here.
Kevin,
Here.
Virginia here, Robert,
Here.
Jane is absent, Carrie Ann absent, Marie,
Here.
Kelly,
Here.
and Marcy is absent.
Do we have alternates?
Seat the alternate.
Yeah, I want to seat the alternates, please. Thank you. Excuse me. Fire evacuation procedures. If there's an emergency and we need to leave the building, could exit the door that we came in, down the stairs and away from the building, or a quicker route might be the back door, again, out the door, down the stairs and away from the building. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next is public participation. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak regarding items not on the agenda? Anybody want to speak regarding items not on the agenda?
I don't see me. Is that where I'm supposed to go?
Yeah, this is for 119 Post Road.
Yeah.
Yep, you
Okay.
yeah, probably should.
Hi, sir, can you come forward?
Yeah.
State your name and address for the record.
Sure.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Is it button on?
Should be.
Is it red?
Yeah.
Right, red?
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Jeff Tingley. I have a business at 119 Post Road. I was recently cited by the town for a ADA ramp we put in.
Excuse me, for what?
ADA.
ADA ramp?
Yep.
Okay.
So apparently on the drawing it showed a wood ramp, and we installed a concrete ramp. Can I hand them the photos?
Sure.
Okay.
Just give one to Jen as well. No, teachers have this.
So who did you get cited by?
Rick, it was Rick who cited him, yeah.
What happened was Powder Hollow Brewery was talking about putting in a concrete slab. So when Rick came to our building, he noticed the difference. And so I didn't realize that was on the plan, so that there was a permit for it. And you can see what we did there.
So this is on Post Road?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so this must be in the back.
Yeah.
Is it the wooden in the back where the green?
So we did have a permit for that wooden structure that was there back when we put that wooden stair in for the town of Enfield. We donated that space, if you guys remember, to Enfield Handymen. And then they moved out, Powder Hollow moved in, and Jim Taylor wanted us to put a ADA ramp there. So we specified it for that door. And I never realized I had to come before the committee, or I would have. So that's why I'm here. So what I said basically in that is that I measured, we're 55% occupying the land. There's a 66% rule the town has. And for the land that we took by putting the concrete ramp in, what I'm suggesting is that I take one of my parking lot spaces, pull out the pavement, put dirt there, and put that back to land. So in essence, I give back the land that we took.
Looks very well made to me. I understand your confusion.
I don't,
Yeah.
it's very expensive.
There was something there already.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It was already paved. You can see, I think, in the photos, back when it was Sterling Machine,
Yeah,
it was already paved right up
Yeah.
to it, yeah. And then there was like 3 feet of rock going back further than that
Right.
ADA ramp goes.
Listening.
So it was already disturbed
Yes.
prior to you
Yeah,
being there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pulled a permit, but they never told you that you had to come before wetlands when you pulled the permit?
Right. When I talked to Jim, well, they showed on the drawings that it was going to be a wood structure, so it would still need piers, but no, nobody did tell me that I had to come before wetlands.
Yeah.
I don't see where it needs a permit, but
Yeah.
So let me just ask you this, it's not so much that you took away land and to do this, it's just what happens with the runoff, because you have an impervious pavement
Right.
situation now. And although it's not huge, it looks like obviously it's sloped down. Where does on page 2, where that van is, where does all that water go? Is there a drain there
Yeah, so it actually drains right to the pond.
into the pond?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I was at the building before I came here, and I said to
the rain.
myself, I should take a picture of this, because the water was running, and you could see it coming down and going right down to the pond.
There was a lot of water, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because this picture doesn't really show that there's a drain there.
So there were stairs there prior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
And they just made it cement.
Oh, you're right, Kevin, it doesn't show that it does come down, but it does.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't see an issue really. It was already disturbed.
The-
So Jen, is this something that we would have to vote on? Because I don't think he needs it. Just my personal opinion, I don't think he needs a permit. I don't think he needs a permit. I think it's well constructed and it's ADA compliant. He has to have it. And
I don't have a picture on my phone either. I was trying to
if
see Kevin.
he,
Yeah, where,
if there is a problem with the runoff, then you would have to come back to us.
let me just ask you this as well, because it looks like this was added. So this drain pipe, it
Yeah.
goes underneath. Where does this drain pipe go to?
Right to that. There's a whole swale
Yeah.
that runs to the pond. So that pipe goes right to
that
that
whole-
swale.
Right here. See this?
Oh, yeah.
So it goes under the ground to the
Yeah.
pond, essentially?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, this thing here.
Yeah.
And it didn't do that before?
right. But there was a drain there, so that would have done essentially the same thing. When this,
Except that the ground kind of filters and the rocks would have filtered some of the stuff that comes off the roof. That's the only difference.
Oh, I see, because it's
You
hooked
know?
up to
Yeah,
this.
because now it's going directly into the pond without any.
well, it has about 60 feet to go before it goes to the pond. So
So it comes out
there's,
into
yeah.
the grass somewhere?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see it right here. Yeah. It's right here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming out onto the grass.
Yeah. I see it now. I see it. Yeah. It's.
See right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it.
My recommendation is that you put some riprap or something in there so that doesn't get clogged up.
Yeah, that's true.
Where
Where?
that drain comes out
Yeah,
in the
oh, yeah.
grass.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. Is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that rock that Sterling had there before, we took that down.
Oh, and pushed
And
it-
at the
put it in there?
faces, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Good. All right.
I
Yeah.
agree,
So.
I agree that it looks very well
Yeah.
made.
Yeah, I don't think,
So just make
It
So
a
if
even
you wanna
looks
make a
better
motion-
than what he had before. I mean, aesthetically.
yeah, I don't think he needs to come before, with any
So
special
you can
permit
make
or
a
anything else.
motion that there's, you determine that there's no need for a permit
Yeah,
Okay.
if you wanted.
that's
All
what we
right,
could do.
then I will do that. I will make a motion that property at 119 Post Road in Enfield, Connecticut does not require a permit
Second,
For our handicap rep?
for the handicap ramp access.
second.
Okay, Could I have roll call, please?
Donna.
Yes.
Yes.
Virginia, yes. Sorry. Robert,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
6 in favor, motion passes, so you don't need a permit or anything. for
Thank
it.
you for
Okay.
Bringing it to
all
our
the
attention.
nice
Thank you, good
Yeah.
night.
way you keep your property.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That'd be tough right now. It's a little wet.
Will Rick or somebody send him a letter so we have it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I just want to make a note that the last time I was here, I didn't number the pages, and my wife reminded me. So she went through and did them.
Oh, that was very nice of her.
Because I had already copied them all
Tell her
off.
thank you very much.
Yes.
And you can have her watch the recording to show that you actually said that. and
Gave
you're
her
good.
credit.
She asked me if she could come, and I said, no, I get nervous enough.
Oh.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a good evening.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak regarding items on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. Correspondence. Excuse me, sorry. We do have information regarding a forest wetlands soils workshop that's put on by the USDA and DEEP. It's Tuesday or Wednesday, August 14th or 15th. Yukon Stores, 8:30 to 4:30 all day. It's cost $40 per person. Did you look in our budget?
I did not get a chance to look into the budget yet, but I will, and I will let you guys know what we have available.
Okay, because even if there isn't any money in the budget, I would like to sign up.
We can, yep, and we'll definitely still, yeah, we can
we'll
register you
sign up.
guys. So
I don't know if anybody else wants to.
There's an August 1st.
And there's an August 1st deadline. So we would probably just sign up online.
yeah, you can sign up online too. If you
Yeah,
want.
okay. So we just sign up online, yeah.
Perhaps if there's money, we can get reimbursed.
Or something, if somebody wants to go and, okay. They're usually good, and I know this, you're gonna be doing a site visit and
It's the old active,
all these things.
the main active.
Other than that, that's the only correspondence we had. Commissioners' correspondence, site visits, anything? To my right? No. To my left? No. Approval of minutes from July 3rd.
I move that we approve the minutes for July 3rd, 2018.
Second,
Roll call?
don't you want to see if there's any changes?
Oh, yeah, any changes needed? Sorry.
Okay, now roll.
Now we can.
Okay, Donna,
Yes.
Devin,
Yes.
Virginia, yes. Robert,
Yes.
Jane. Oh, I'm
Not
sorry,
here.
Jane's not here. Marie,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes. 6 in favor, motion passes. We have no bond releases or old business. So next is our new business, which is IW 593, 80 Shaker Road. Application for the construction of a building addition, driveways, parking, drainage, and minor grading, 80 Shaker Road, LLC owner, Camerata Truck Parts applicant, map 76, lot 185, I-1 zone. Hi.
Yep.
Welcome. If you could say your name and address for the record, please.
Absolutely. For the record, Wes Wentworth Civil Engineers from Lebanon, Connecticut. I'm a professional engineer and soil scientist.
Okay.
I'm the design engineer of record and representing the owner and applicant, Camerata Truck Parts, Mr. Frank Camerata. He apologizes he could not be here this evening. He's out of town.
You might want to just turn the mic towards you.
Yep, yeah.
There we go. My voice usually carries pretty well. Okay, so you guys can see this on your camera? Okay, let me see. Try the pointer here. To orient you, there's a 40 scale map. North is up. That is Shaker Road there. This is number 80 Shaker Road, the former Parker Hannafin facility. Camerata Truck Parts acquired it a few years back, and as you may recall, came in and right here in this end of the building, they did an 8,000 square foot addition with a little bit of, there was a parking lot in that area, and they took that out and did a little bit of change in the pavement configuration, but that's about it. The site is, I would say, moderately to gently sloped. It kind of goes from the northwest corner down to the southeast corner. Currently, right now, it's all parking lot, access, driveway, and mowed grass. There's no real wooded natural landscape on it at all. So right now, we have the existing building. There's parking area out front for employee parking. The main access is two-way, comes in here. This is a front entrance to their new warehouse space, so they kind of ramped up to that so the trucks can drive into that warehouse space. And then the existing driveway goes down the side of the building to a turnaround here, and they back into, have kind of a turnaround right in this area. So that's kind of the existing facilities. This was originally an industrial subdivision approved, and back when the building was built, I think it was in the late 1970s, early 1980s. And this is a 5.2 acre parcel of land, industrial zone, of course. At that time, they did one common detention pond for the entire subdivision, so that way each site didn't have to do individual detention basins on site. And it's worked out rather well, and that's actually what's located right here and shown as wetlands, just south of the property. And off of this property is a large, what appears to be a very nice wetland area, marsh area, and what it is it's a created wet basin detention pond. So there's other lots farther down to the west and southwest that were part of the subdivision, all drainage from the site through either overland or via pipes discharges into this detention basin. Excuse me. When they built the Parker Hannafin building, they did a man-made vegetated swale along the eastern property line. So that drains to the southeast corner here. The last little bit of it is, I delineated it back when we did this 2 years ago. It did turn up to be wetland soils. It is very narrow. It's basically the east property line is the far side of that, and then it goes back into uplands on the boundary line to the east. And there is a small bit that's technically intermittent watercourse and not wetlands down the south end, but essentially it's one continuous man-made vegetated swale. Everything along this side of the parking lot now sheet flows down into there. Drainage from these front parking lots is collected by catch basins and discharges in a pipe in this area. The rear parcel, part of the parcel, and drains to a second pipe here. Everything's carried down into this detention basin. That basin was designed at the time for 66% impervious coverage maximum per the zone. So it was anticipating each one of these lots would be fully built out per zoning. So that's what we're here to do with Phase 2, and this is now a warehouse building that is being proposed by Mr. Camerata. That's what I've shown in hatched brown, basically on the southwest and southeast side of the building. It would be strictly warehouse use. As part of this, we want to keep we need to add a little bit of employee parking up here in the front, and to keep truck traffic separated from this parking area, we're showing a new entrance off the state road that would be one-way in only truck entrance. Okay, and that would come down the west side of the building around the rear. This would be another garage door entrance here in the warehouse at grade, similar to what they have here in the front. So they have small delivery trucks, Isuzu type trucks that they can move their transmissions and other truck parts with. But a lot of it is ferrying between here and their property up at 245 Shaker Road, or to other small local deliveries. Along the east side, they'll have it'll be loading dock height, so it'll be everything will match the floor level of this existing building inside, and then outside we'll be able to. We're actually dropping the grade 4 feet to allow trucks to back up into this area. It fits right in perfectly with the existing site. This is the high corner already of the site. This is already down low, so there's no real change in grading that needs to happen for that loading dock to happen. As far as drainage goes, I've taken and designed the last catch basin is up here right now in the grass just off this west parking lot. We're going to utilize that catch basin, bring a pipe across and put one more basin here along the west property line. That'll pick up between that existing basin and this basin. That'll pick up this parking lot and all the drainage in the road up to about halfway down to this new addition. I made a high point and run everything back there. The small amount of pavement in here in front of this garage entrance and up to about here, if you look on the plans, there's a double catch basin just off the property line, and that's in a storm drainage easement that's picking up pipe how everything's piped to this common detention basin from the property to the west. There's a pipe under there, but there's a double catch basin right there. So I just designed a leak off with some modified riprap right there, picking up very small, and all these drainage points. The largest is 1.7 CFS going into this catch basin and over there. This is along the lines of 1 cubic feet per second. And then everything from this point southeast, this new pavement here, this is all curbed. It'll run down, and then I've designed it so this extension here will have no curb along the east curb line and sheet flow off into this vegetated swale. One thing we did add is this about 60 feet here along and parallel just off the pavement edge, as I designed a 3-foot wide by 18-inch deep for 60 feet of that, kind of like a level spreader, be a modified riprap infiltration trench. So what that will do is it'll stabilize and keep the edge of pavement having, if any concentrated flow comes along off the storm, from storm drainage coming off the pavement, it'll keep that pavement in place, and then it has the great benefit of recharging, all those small storm events as well into that area. So it's more of a stabilizing measure with a little bit of an infiltration part to it as well. So again, that'll be 18 inches deep, 3 feet wide, and run between 60 and 70 feet right in this area. And that, again, will catch all the runoff from in this area and that part of the building there. Building's obviously served by public water, public sewers. Proposed impervious area for the site after development will be 62.1%. Again, maximum allowed is 66%. There's no wetlands disturbance on site, no disturbances of any water courses. It's all up and review activity only. Delineated wetlands were only done on site. I did take the limits of this detention basin off the town GIS and double checked it with the aerial image. It's very clear. And then secondly, there's a small wetland area here off the town GIS site. So I just put those on there to make sure we included that 100-foot upland review area in here. So technically, upland review area, what you're looking at is right in here. Again, this is all pavement and a turnaround already. So small portion of the building, and then this pavement around on the southern side. And obviously, you have to look at the site as a whole also, and as part of your review process. So. That concludes my presentation. I would just say that on Friday afternoon I received some comments from the engineering department, Mr. John Cabibbo, and made those changes yesterday morning. And of course, John's on vacation this week. That's how it works out. But I was able to work with Donald in the engineering department. He was very helpful. And so he kind of re-reviewed the plans from scratch. He's very thorough and excellent reviewer. I have a number of typos and misspellings that he helped me with. We got those all straightened out and made me look much better. I thanked him for that. And but basically, he wanted that, and then just some drainage calculations for those 3 drainage areas I was talking about, which we provided and have submitted. Again, very small amounts. When we're talking 1.5 CFS, that's a 12-inch storm pipe running a third full. Or less, maybe 25% of capacity of a 12-inch storm sewer. So, and that's only during peak events, obviously. So, that concludes my presentation. I'd be glad to take any comments or questions.
I have one question. Usually on the plans it shows the snow stockpile,
Okay.
and I don't see it.
Sure. I have not delineated that anywhere on here, and I thought that was something I would need for planning. Snow will be bermed along the southwest property line, but it won't be a stockpile. Just be what's pushed off by a plow going parallel.
We call it snow stockpile.
Yeah, so that will happen along the property line edges here to clear that out. If it gets of any significant snowstorm, they're going to have to take and with a loader and/or push it and bring it up to the front of the site.
Will you be doing different plans for planning and zoning?
I'm sure that I'll get
So you
more
could put
comments.
You could put
yeah,
that
yeah,
on
that
there.
would be the next step. So I would put snow storage areas, and that's always comes up at, as you know,
Thank
at the
you.
planning and zoning level. So.
I did see, as part of my notes here, that wasn't addressed on the most recent email from this morning about the limit of clearing. I guess the limit of clearing on your plans showed that you were clearing in the wetlands.
Right. Right.
There's no clearing proposed, so I don't know. Let me take a closer look.
Yeah, that did say that.
You see that, Jen?
Yeah. It's on the
Says-
second paragraph,
Third.
July 17 staff report, back page.
There's no clearing proposed to create this. I didn't receive that comment from Donald, so, in working with him, so that's new information.
Back of this thing?
Right, and it says all disturbance will take place within the 100-foot upland area.
No, it says the symbol on the legend used to show limit of clearing is shown on the map in areas where there are wetlands and other landscaped areas on the
I see.
property.
That's an existing tree line, so that's not a proposed limit of clearing, so we can certainly.
Yeah, that's what I noticed on your original maps there. The symbol that you used to show where your clearing was on the plans looked to be similar, or the same symbol that you used to delineate where the tree line was, so I wasn't sure. I just
Sure.
wanted for clarification purposes.
Usually we just use a heavier line.
Yeah.
And the clarification is there is no proposed limits of clearing, so that's
Okay.
just a generic
All right,
legend.
just because it was on this and I didn't see
Yeah.
any.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no clearing then?
Correct.
No clearing, okay. Of course, they wanted the silt fencing to go all the way
Right, hay bales or silt fence.
along the whole edge of the property. Does the new site plans have everything in it from what Donald and,
Yeah, I had a chance to run through all of the comments that Donald made, and they do appear to be addressed on
Okay.
these new site plans.
since, that's good. Okay, I don't have anything. Is the snow plow gonna be kind of close here?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be just pushing it off, right?
And do we know how much truck traffic this is going to increase?
Yeah. You know how much truck traffic they're gonna have? Like in the back there?
Well, the plan is that the large tractor trailers will be coming in this new entrance,
Right.
one way around, and then they can come in and then back in to
And then
this
they go out
area.
the other way?
Also, some of the smaller truck traffic, the short local delivery stuff will also be coming here for drop-off. But most of that already comes in here and backs into this area, so I couldn't say.
It's not a dish, it's just,
You know,
it's the same trucks area
this
you have
is
coming.
this is a warehouse area, and they remanufacture their things now. I think as a net, it's probably going to slow any peak truck traffic down, because right now they're kind of split. They have to store things over at 247 Shaker Road and run things over
Back and
back and
forth.
forth, back and forth. This way, it's kind of one-stop shopping, and they come in once and they leave once,
Right.
and that's it. And so it's definitely a smoother transaction when anytime you have a project where you're increasing your warehouse and storage space, your peak truck traffic goes down a lot. But the number of trucks coming in and out
Do
is.
you
is what
have
it is.
any, do you feel confident that the state will grant you the road cut for the truck driveway?
You never know till you know, but it is a one-way in entrance. Sight lines are excellent, both directions up there. It's not going to be truck levels where they're going to be needing passing lanes and turning lanes, say, for instance, if a school was going in or something large. I'm comfortable with that, but we can't go get our approval from DOT until we come through here.
Thank you.
So.
Are they going to be parking their own trucks at this site?
They may, yeah.
Yeah, they have some trucks,
Yep.
I think.
So is there any fuel, like, do they store any fuel or anything
No.
like that on site?
No fueling on site, but they may end up having some of their smaller vans, their local delivery vans could end up parked in front of some of these loading docks overnight, just till the next morning.
What about truck washing?
No truck washing on site.
Proposal?
Sure.
All right, I will make a motion that whereas the Enfield Inland and Wetlands and Watercourse Agency has received an application to build a 31,015 square foot building addition, construct a new driveway, expand the parking lots, and do minor grading on the site located at 80 Shaker Road. And whereas the agency has determined that the proposed site improvements will not have any adverse impacts on nearby wetlands and watercourses. Resolved that the Enfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency here to approve IW 593 as such, with the standard conditions, and just one additional that the snow. Do we want to add snow?
Yes.
Yeah, that snow stockpiling signage be put up and then noted on further revised plans
Be on the
for
final plans, yep.
PNC.
You finished?
I think I'm finished.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Donna?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Virginia, yes. Robert?
Yes.
Marie?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
6 in favor, motion passes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
your
you very
time and
much.
effort. Thank you, Jennifer. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Jen, does he have to sign this? Does this need to be signed by him?
I have
A signed copy? Okay. This is staying.
Okay, all set. Next on the agenda is applications to be received. I believe you have none.
Sorry. Nope, no applications are to be received. We don't have any in the office, so
Okay.
it's perfectly timed for August.
Yes, it is.
Maybe you will catch up.
Just give him a minute there. Just give us a minute to do all the signing.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Okay, so next, reports from officers and committees. I did have a question regarding who's signing our paperwork.
So I guess you had appointed Rick in 2016. That's what I was
I don't think we
told.
ever did, though.
So far, we haven't had anybody signing anything because we haven't had a need to sign
Yeah.
wetlands permits yet. But if you wanted to appoint someone else or have your secretary sign everything, you can certainly, it's up to you.
Yeah, didn't we have a staff approval last
Yeah.
last meeting, so.
No,
No.
no.
You had talked
we're
about
just
it
going to
wanting-
check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you had
sorry.
talked about it wanting it to be Mike, but
I don't mind doing it. I'm in the area. So if the group, if everyone wants me to sign until we get somebody
Stuff.
else. Yeah. I'll just
Sign them.
sign them.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next I have is our September 2018 meeting. We need to have an organizational meeting to elect officers again. So
Okay.
that'll be in September sometime, one of our September meetings.
We'll add that to the agenda.
Okay. Does anybody to my right have any comments, reports?
No.
I just hope everyone has the rest of their summer in August, has a great time, and I'll see you all in September. And if there's nothing else,
Wait.
You're
Okay.
jumping again. Gotta give Jen a chance. Report of our assistant planning director.
You guys don't have any applications and nothing being rolled over, so there's not really much to report on. The only enforcement item was Mr. Tingley's property, and we took care of that. I know you guys are always curious about Powder Hill Sand and Gravel. We did meet with them, and town attorney is moving that forward in some fashion, so I guess that's still on the back burner.
Is it still in litigation, or what's going on with that?
They're still working. I believe the town attorney's office is still working with their attorney to some degree on finding a solution. So, to what's going on over there.
is that the,
The sand and gravel?
yeah. I drove by there the other day, and they seem to be using their old driveway and have kind of put grass and stuff on the
Yeah,
new
they
driveway.
had to do
Yeah.
that a long
Yeah.
time
They
ago.
fixed
yeah.
that second
Oh.
driveway, so.
Moody Road, I think, is that Square Road?
Yes, Moody Road. We have to send Rick out there. He was a little busy last week, and he will be back in the office again next week. So we'll get him on that to inspect what's going on out there. So.
And we haven't heard from the escarpment, which was like
Kimberly?
Drive.
No.
No.
I believe the town manager's office heard from their attorney.
Oh.
So that's where that is.
Okay.
And I think that's it. That's all I can think of. If you guys have any questions for me.
No, ma'am. All right.
Okay. I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Meeting's adjourned.